Hey, Battle Bill, here with another video, and today we're going to get some more Great League Go Bad League battles. Season 3 has been hype. Great League in Season 3 has been even more hype, and that's because it's really starting to look like Great League for Season 3 doesn't have too much of a specific meta like it has had in previous seasons around Registeel, Azumarill, and Altaria. Now, those Pokemon are still viable, but the updated changes to certain moves and the updated move pools to certain Pokemon have definitely had a positive effect on the Great League meta, giving more Pokemon viability. Now, some of those new Pokemon I have on a team of 3 to showcase some battles for you guys. This set has been submitted by a close friend of mine, Antonio Caradonna. He's a highly skilled PvP trainer from my area, and he actually took 2 of the new mons and wrapped it together with a pretty meta old Pokemon and has a solid set here for us to go through. I'm excited to see these battles. The team consists of ABOMASNOW, Pelipper, and Defense Deoxys. Also, if you're excited for the Season 3 hype, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's really appreciated. Let's jump into these battles. You'll notice he's doing these battles at rank 3, so this is pretty early meta. We might see some off-meta stuff, might see some weird teams, or we might see a lot of meta teams like Galarian Stunfisk. So he's got an ABOMASNOW on Galarian Stunfisk lead, and this does not seem like it's going to be a pretty positive situation for his ABOMASNOW. It'll take super effective damage from the rock slides, and then it would only be able to deal neutral damage through the energy balls, which really aren't going to chunk too well at Galarian Stunfisk. Actually, these weather balls will deal neutral damage also because of Galarian Stunfisk's ground typing. Even though the steel resisted, he was able to get the shield. Now he's going for an energy ball, and this will most likely go unshielded because of the fact that his opponent already used one. Energy ball does a good chunk, but it's still looking like Galarian Stunfisk should pull it out, but it is pretty close. So now the question is, does he decide? He does decide to shield. Makes sense. He's pretty much at another weather ball. I feel like that Galarian Stunfisk had to have overcharged, but he was still able to get to the weather ball, and this should do enough damage to take out the Galarian Stunfisk. It goes shielded, makes sense, and the Galarian Stunfisk did overcharge because it's just getting to another rock slide now. So it's going to come through, take out the ABOMASNOW. He loses the lead, but he does have shield advantage, and Defense Deoxys can literally come in and completely farm down the Galarian Stunfisk. Now his opponent matches with an Altaria, and this actually works out really well for him because Defense Deoxys can beat Altarias in these types of situations. Rock Slide's dealing super effective damage. He's going to need one more Rock Slide to take it out, plus he could tank a Sky Attack if he wanted to, and if he really didn't want to, he could use this shield. So let's see what he does. He decides to shield up the Sky Attack. I guess his logic is if his opponent's bringing an Altaria to deal with the Defense Deoxys, whatever Pokemon is in the back for his opponent is not going to want to see the Defense Deoxys either. Takes out the Altaria, ends up being an Azumarill. Good play on him by saving his Defense Deoxys because he should be able to get to this Thunderbolt, which will do a solid chunk to the Azumarill, and he still has Pelipper in the back who will be able to put in enough work to finish off the Azumarill. Technically, Pelipper actually beats Azumarill in the one shield, I think all shielding situations. It's really close. It's really surprising that Pelipper is able to beat it, but that play rough went through. He brings in the Pelipper, and now he's just going to go all the way for the big move because there's nothing Azumarill can throw that will one-shot Pelipper, and it's a nice shiny Pelipper to flex on top of it. Play rough comes through, does a good chunk. That's about, like, I'd say 60%, but still not going to be enough. This Hurricane, I think that's what this got to be Hurricane. It took a while. Yeah, will definitely take out Azumarill, and he will be able to win Game 1 after losing lead. Alright, getting into this second match of the set, he's going up against Alex Kuhn11? Guess so. And he's got an ABOMASNOW on a Toxicroak lead. This is definitely not a positive lead. It's going to take super effective damage from the counters. He safe swaps into Pelipper, which is dealing super effective damage, and his opponent took a long time to swap to counter the Pelipper, which allowed him to do a good chunk to the Toxicroak and get a bunch of energy to start spamming these weather balls at the Galarian Stunfisk. Wow, that weather ball does a lot of damage. So now Rock Slide's definitely not going to take Pelipper out. It will get it low though, because it will deal super effective damage, but I'm quite impressed at how much that weather ball does. So now he's at another one. He's overcharging a bit. He's got to make sure he gets this off before another Rock Slide comes through. And let's see if this gets a shield from the Stunfisk, or if his opponent decides to let a Stunfisk go down. It does get the shield. His opponent does get to another Rock Slide, but if he really wants, he doesn't have to shield it. He decides to shield. Okay, looks like he's kind of committing the switch advantage, hoping he can at least outpace the Stunfisk to the last charge move that would take it out, because this one would take it out, or it might get the second shields. It gets the second shield. So now we're going to see, is it a race? Oh, he decides to swap out, brings in Defense Deoxys because he figured he was going to lose that race. Totally fine by him. Charge was coming through. This is most likely an Earthquake since there's no shields. It is an Earthquake, does about half of the Deoxys health, and his opponent swaps into a Azumarill, and honestly, that was not exactly a great swap. His Defense Deoxys is running Thunderbolt. So this is definitely going to be a close match. He's still so worried about the Toxicroak in the back falling on his Abomasnow, and he's just going to have to end up taking the charge. I was going to say he's not going to be able to get to anything else to throw at the Azumarill. Unfortunately, this will be an Ice Beam. It'll get the Deoxys super low. The bubble should finish it off. Can he get to the Rock Slide in time? Oh, it just fell short of the Rock Slide. So now the question is, do you bring in Abomasnow now or do you bring in Pelipper? Let's see what he decides to do. Honestly, I'm not really too sure what the best play was there. I think Abomasnow would be just because of the fact that it has health, so it could essentially tank whatever move comes at it, which ends up being a neutral Ice Beam, because you have to remember, even though Ice resists Ice, Abomasnow's Grass typing would take super effective damage from the Ice Beam, so it neutralizes it essentially. He goes for the Energy Ball, takes out the Azumarill's remaining health. Toxicroak is coming back in. He swaps back into the Pelipper, and they CMP tie, and this has to be a Sludge Bomb, because if it's not, it's going to be double resisted. Ends up being a Sludge Bomb. Pelipper can tank it. Yo, props to Pelipper. It could tank way more than I thought it was going to be able to tank. This Weather Ball should take out the Toxicroak's remaining health, and then the Galarian Sunfist comes in. It's not going to... Oh, is it going to... Oh, that was close. I was like, is it going to be able to Mud Shot it down? You could barely see the health. It's obviously double resisted. His opponent throws a Rock Slide, had to because that was a CMP tie. The Abomasnow comes in, gets to the Weather Ball. It's going to take out the Galarian Sunfist, and he wins after losing another lead in some really exciting fashion. So, 2-0 in this set. Really awesome match there. I was wondering how in God's name he got to rank 4. I forgot that he told me he submitted battles from some different sets, but it's definitely a great showcase of this team. He already came back from 2 lost leads. Getting to this next one, he has 1 lead here. He's got Abomasnow on Drifloon. Powder Snows will be super effective. Weather Balls will be dealing super effective because of Drifloon's flying typing. The Drifloon is deciding to stay in. This Weather Ball is going to do a good chunk. It gets a shield. Let's see what his opponent decides to do. He's still keeping the Drifloon in, going for a charge move. This will most likely be an Icy Wing because it would be neutral. Oh, ends up being the Shadow Ball, trying to... I feel like that shield was pretty obvious. His opponent swaps into a Machamp, and he's throwing the Weather Ball at the Machamp. Machamp would definitely deal super... Ooh, Shadow Machamp swaps into Defense Deoxys, and at this point, because of the fact his Weather Ball landed, he can commit to a counter down. The Machamp will get off this Rock Slide because Cross Chop would be resisted, and it's might be throwing Cross Chops. Should have been able to get off a Rock Slide. Was I wrong on energy there? I don't know. I could swear it should have gotten it off. Either way, he ends up countering down the Machamp. He's throwing a Rock Slide even though Azumarill coming in. It gets the shield anyway, so I guess his opponent expected the fact that he was checking the top right corner. Could have saw it was an Azumarill coming in and was going to go for the Thunderbolt. Is still able to get to the Thunderbolt before his opponent gets to their next charge move. This will do about 2/3 of Azumarill's health. Gets it nice and low. Maybe it was about like 55%, 60%. I'm glancing at it. I'm only so great at analyzing. But charge moves coming through. Ice Beam will get the Deoxys low, but will not take it out. The Drifloon comes back in, and he's going to get off the Rock Slide before the Drifloon can hex him down. So he's got a full Pelipper. His Abomasnow's got a good chunk of health. He has shield advantage. The Drifloon is now down. Now that Pelipper came in, opponent decides to quit. Don't really blame him. His team just dominated there. Looking at this team, Abomasnow and Pelipper go pretty well together because Pelipper covers Abomasnow's weaknesses really well. Being ice and grass typing, it's weak to a few things, but mainly fire and fighting, whereas Pelipper has that water and flying typing, which essentially would cover both of those typings pretty well. And then Defense Deoxys, being bulky, helps wrap the team together and deal some pretty explosive quick move damage in the form of counter, even though there's no stab there. So getting into this last match of the set, well, really not the last match, it's actually the 4th match. Some technical issues, but I feel like these 4 matches really cover this team and show its strengths really well and some of its weaknesses. He just got hit by a Hydro Pump from the Azumarill. He's going to overcharge a little bit on his Defense Deoxys and throw a Rock Slide. If you notice, he did win lead. His opponent swapped in Azumarill, and he left in his Abomasnow a little bit longer because Azumarill's not exactly a counter to try and like scare an Abomasnow away. And now, at this part of the match, he's going for another Rock Slide because the Shift Tree has made its way back into the match. gets the Shift Tree pretty low. The Shift Tree can throw a charge move here and just go for a Leaf Blade. That would take out Deoxys' remaining health. He's going to shield it because he wants to commit to a counter down of the Shift Tree. He's got it, but now he's at a shield disadvantage. His opponent brings in his last Pokemon, being a defense Deoxys of their own. He goes for the Thunderbolt here. This will either get a shield or do a nice little chunk off the Deoxys' health. Does a good chunk. He swaps into the Abomasnow, and he is going to have to tank this charge move, which will most likely be a Rock Slide. Abomasnow is able to survive it. He wants to get the Weather Ball off. Deoxys got another counter through. Abomasnow just barely held in and survived to get the Weather Ball off. It gets the first of the 2 shields, and now he gets countered down. So this match is solely falling on Pelipper, and what he has to watch out for is potential Thunderbolt. Rock Slide would be super effective and deal good damage, but Thunderbolt would be double super effective, and it would definitely one-shot the Pelipper. So he shielded the first charge move. This ends up being a Rock Slide, so now he has to worry and hope that the defense Deoxys is not running Thunderbolt and that wasn't a bait. So he's going for a charge move here. This is going to end up being Weather Ball and get shielded. I don't know why I said that like that. I got distracted. Those are my messages. But anyhow, he throws his Deoxys to try and catch a charge move, and that did not work. So now that defense Deoxys got to overfarm a bunch. Another charge move is going through. Is this going to be a Thunderbolt? Ends up being the Rock Slide. He's going to survive. He's going to get to the Weather Ball just in time because that Deoxys was probably at 2 Rock Slides after that failed sack swap. He gets the Weather Ball off, wins the final match of the set, and shows how strong his team really is. Luckily, that Deoxys wasn't running Thunderbolt, but honestly, even if it was, as long as he would have been able to shield the Thunderbolt, because we don't know when it would have been thrown, he would have definitely still won that match. Overall, I really like this team. I want to be cautious in how much I express how much I like this team. I'm clearly great with words, but that's because Abomasnow and Pelipper are pretty new to the meta. Let me know what you think are some of the weaknesses. We definitely saw a bunch of the strengths from this team, but because of how new the 2/3 of the Pokemon are, because of how new Pelipper and Abomasnow are to Great League meta, I'm really repeating myself. I'm going to give this team a 7 out of 10. I really like it, but just because I'm not seeing any obvious weaknesses doesn't mean you guys won't, so let me know. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the team. I'll see you guys in the next video.